Hey everyone, Brian with WorkshopAddict.com, and today we're going to take a look at Milwaukee's new Gen 3 M18 half-inch hammer drill driver. It is model number 2804-20, and it is their new model that's going to supersede the 2703 and 2704. This model came out of a combo kit that also has the Gen 3 impact driver. That kit number is 2997-22. Now this drill is 2 speeds, 0 to 550 RPM and 0 to 2000 RPM. In hammer mode, it is 0 to 32,000 BPM, 1200 inch-pounds of torque. Pretty awesome drill. And my first experience with this was pulling it out of the box. I had to drill a 4-inch hole in the bed of one of our trucks to put in a fifth wheel hitch or a gooseneck. It's kind of a combination. So I started and said, you know, I'm going to drill this 4-inch hole through some AZEK decking. That's going to help me keep the bit a little bit straighter and centered in that hole. And I started on high, which was way too much, and just said, you know, it cut out. I expected it. It was way too fast. I also didn't have the side handle on it, mostly because of the prior design. I didn't really like it, but I went through, lowered it down to level 1 and just chewed through that with a 4-inch hole saw. Now I used my leg as a backer, as I should have just stopped and went and got the side handle. Definitely don't do that, but I was kind of in a pinch for time moving along. I went into the bed of the truck, used that hole as kind of a way to center and hold the bit, because I know this aluminum is a pain in the butt to get through when there's different levels underneath. I did put the side handle on, and I'm very happy to say that Milwaukee has upgraded the side handle, and it actually comes around the drill now. If you watch some of our prior comparisons, we've actually broke the side handle off. So this new side handle design is awesome. It gives you a lot more confidence, and it's a longer side handle to give you more ability to hold the drill without risking injury. Drilling through the truck was absolutely no issue. It's just you're vibrating around in there. It's an aluminum truck bed. Not a big deal, but impressed with the size of the drill and impressed with how it felt, how it turned on, how it turned off. The variable speed was very easy to control, and the feeling of it was that of quality. I really liked just how everything is placed and put together, and this new chuck was absolutely amazing. I really liked it. You know, to the point where just picking it up, I was like, you know, I got to get on this and really start to use this and compare it to some other drills. So what we wanted to compare was a 3 5/8 inch self-feeding boring bit. Normally a bit that we would use on a much larger drill, and not something that was normally used with this drill, but we thought it would give it a great comparison. Putting it on the Milwaukee, putting it in low range, using the side handle, being careful, going through 2x lumber, it just chewed through it. It was absolutely amazing to watch, and this bit can bind slightly if you get it in an awkward position, and it does not like to go and self-feed all the way through the wood. So when you get down to the end of a hole, you kind of have to rock it back and forth to get through, and that also can cause a bind. But the Milwaukee did absolutely excellent going through. I moved over to the Dewalt, put it on level 1, thinking, you know, hey, this guy has been our go-to power drill, although the run out on the chuck is kind of poor. But talk about power, this thing's got it. And it struggled. I mean, it struggled to even get part way through the hole. And then at the end of a couple of the holes, the bit fell out of the chuck. So that was kind of, I know that that bit is kind of, you know, been used and stuff, but I was surprised to see that. Went back to the Milwaukee again, and we chewed through most of those holes. Again, at the bottom of the hole, you can get cutouts, and in some of the knots, you know, you can get some of the cutouts because it will grab and push you away. The Milwaukee just rocked it through it. I was absolutely astounded. I mean, that's by far beating the most powerful drill we've had in our shop. From there, we went to an 1 inch spade bit, using that on high, because I figured that's going to test out more of the endurance of these drills as far as the brushless motor and heat. We just pounded through the spade bit drills. I mean, we're hole after hole after hole. The spade bit too can get a little funky as you're going through at the end of a hole, So there are a few times that it will bind up in different areas, but at the same point, Milwaukee is very consistent, just pounding through these holes. At this point, the Milwaukee is by far done 3 or 4 times the work of the Dewalt. You can feel some heat building up in the Milwaukee, especially in the back around where your hand is, but this drill is not stopping, not cutting out, and continuing to go. Putting the bit on the Dewalt, going too high, it had some issues in multiple places, which again surprised me, but we kept going through it and it worked. It just had some trouble in different holes, which, again, from the most powerful drill, I mean, I know what this can do, and I'm astounded again at what the Milwaukee has proven to do. Chucks on that bit were fine, no issue, but the new knurling on the Milwaukee chuck is a little bit more aggressive, and I like that, especially with the side handle on it, because you can grab onto it and it's easier to grip, easier to use, and I know it's new and not wore out at all, but it really feels nice. From there, I wanted to come back in and say, okay, what's the heat doing inside this drill? It wasn't immense, but you could feel it in the handle. So using the thermal imager, we went over the Milwaukee drill, and towards the back where the motor is, you could see that it was about 146 at the max, and as you moved around to different areas, like the batteries were 105. It's not overly hot, but it is quite hot. But considering that we're using this drill for something that is probably not the norm as to somebody who's going to use it in the field, I would say we're completely fine. The fact that this is such a small and comfortable drill, and we're able to do these crazy amounts of things in on these large drill bits is just astounding. From there, I wanted to just give a quick demonstration of this electronic clutch system. I absolutely love them. I know some people still like the old manual clicking clutches, but with this, you can set up your clutch, drive a screw in, and if it doesn't quite get flush, you can just pull the trigger once. It will turn it about a 1/16 of a turn, and you can pull it again, and it'll just keep giving you just a little bit more to get that screw flush. I really like that compared to when you get to that same point with the mechanical clutch. You really can't get that extra little bit of turn. You gotta fiddle with it a little bit more than you do the electronic clutch. Really enjoy that. And the fact that this drill is so much smaller makes that a lot more comfortable. Instead of pulling out even last year's model here when you put it up next to it, which is almost 1.5 inches longer and quite a bit heavier. So either way, those tasks are a little bit easier. The hammer drill portion on this, put a 1/2 inch bit in it, just went out and tried it out. It worked excellent. Just not something I usually use in this drill. These are kind of my emergency backup. Being small, you're gonna need the side handle on it. You should have it on anyway. But it really felt comfortable, and it didn't feel like I had something that was too small for the job at hand, but it didn't feel too light, and it felt like it had way more power than what was really needed. Overall, I think that this small, compact drill just really knocks out of the park as far as power. And I know a lot of people always ask us, okay, I have the old drill, or I have 2 models ago, should I upgrade? Or would you pay the money to upgrade? And in this case, for the comfort factor of having something a little bit smaller, and still have the power, and the fact that the side handle is significantly better, I would highly suggest you upgrade. Especially if you use the side handle. It only takes once for this side handle to break off and for you to hurt yourself or to something else to happen, and it's well worth the purchase. I think you're going to find this drill to be a lot more comfortable, in the way that they change between the drill setting, the screw setting, and the hammer setting is all in one. So you really can't, it's not as complicated, it's easier to use, you can do things quicker with it, and you don't accidentally move something from hammer to screw or from drill to hammer. It's just very intuitive, very thought out. The chuck is different, and I've just listened a little bit. They did add some like anodizing to stop some of the rust internally. But I think where this chuck shines is a little bit more of ability to tighten it and loosen it with the extra knurling, and it just seems like it likes to grip a little bit better. Run out on this drill was absolutely impressive, so I think Milwaukee has nailed it here. The only things that I'm going to do to mine, remove the bit holder, remove the belt clip so I have a little bit smaller base at the bottom. I don't like working in different areas where I can scratch that against some paint or a side-by-side plastic, anything like that. Other than that, you just look at this thing. It's small and deceiving. So don't let that get to you. I know there's a lot of tools out there that we say, you know, respect them. And this is one of them that when you pick it up, you think almost, hey, this is a compact drill. I'm good to go, right? This thing's got some power, so hang on. Don't hurt yourself. Again, guys, we appreciate all your comments. Watch out for all the giveaways we got going on, not only on Workshop Addict, but we got some on wrenches and rides also. So make sure you subscribe to both channels. Follow us on social media. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.